All right, guys, welcome back to another unboxing. Today, I'm going to show you maybe about 10 of 23 or 4 books that I purchased. Okay, so the first 10 are going to be graded comic books. Now, here's the thing, guys. I bought a set of 4, and then I bought a collection of almost 19, somewhere around there, okay? Let's just get into it. How's everybody been doing? Hopefully well. As we go through these books, I want to share a little idea of how I'm going to enter the comic book market in 2024. My strategy, okay? Books that I like, books that I'm flipping. Typically there's books I'm buying with the mindset of selling some to keep a few, right? So if out of the 19 I just bought, I might keep, say, 5, but the rest I might be selling to buy more books. And I purchased a set of 4 books recently. Let's see, it was 2 Spider-Man, Batman, and actually 3 Spider-Man, but one of them sold, basically paid for the whole lot. That's the beauty of the game, right? But anyways, this is Tom and Jerry. This thing just looked cool. Dell Comics, 1959. You know, the comic book market for me is new, but the game stays the same, right? Collected sports cards, action figures, coins, all types of stuff. And on this channel, we always talk about strategies, right? So, with that being said, this is the first one I purchased in the lot of 19, okay? The thing was, the seller listed them, but guys, it was just so bizarre because it was like best offer, and I was sending offers that were relatively low just to see if, like, test the water, so to speak, to see where they're at. And they accepted the very low offer. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll take those 5. And then I looked on their page and I bought a bunch more. Now, Casper, the Friendly Ghost. I'm sure you guys watched this as a kid. Well, you probably watched, several generations might have watched this as a kid. This is from 1958. Friendly Ghost Casper number 4. This is a beautiful book, though. This is what I'm planning on keeping, actually. What was kind of cool about this is the raw books weren't very cheap. I got this cheaper than most of the raw books, and it's a 4.0. It's a decent grade. It's got a nice little cover. This would be one that I'm definitely going to hang up on the wall, and I'm going to start a section of sections in this room I have. Each wall is going to have a different theme. But let's get into this strategy, what I've been thinking about. Guys, I might have paid, some of these books I probably paid like 20 bucks for, right? Some I might have been a little less, some maybe a little more. If I could sell off and double, triple my money on some books, it starts to pay for the lot quick. The goal for me this year is to accumulate more keys and books that I like, covers, characters, especially Amazing Spider-Man, Batman. I think I'm going to target those 2 primarily for like the PC for the collection. Looney Tunes 5.5. This cover's nice. Elmer Fudd on there. Somebody will just like these. Really, honestly, guys, somebody will pay 50 bucks for these. Easily. Especially a 5.5, especially a comic that's from 1959. Like, these are going to look good on the wall. I don't know if I'm going to sell some of these Dell ones. I just kind of think they look cool. Like I said, maybe we'll see. And then maybe I'll just keep Casper. Maybe, let's see. Oh yeah, so here's the other ones from this lot. X-Men. Newsstand. This one I'm going to sell. I know I get like 40 bucks for it. Move it, right? Here's a couple more that people might just like. And they look cool if you're into Superman. Doomsday, 7.5. This book is from 1992. You know, like this would probably be an easy book to sell for not very much, but we're just freeing up some money and then moving it into something else. And like I said, there's going to be books in this lot that I'm going to keep. I'm waiting on about 10 more books, right? So this is the first video. Now, here's the second purchase, okay? We'll start off with this one. This really makes this a lot, okay? This one I'm going to show you guys, I actually sold. This is 9.0, signed by the writer of Spider-Man Unlimited. Maximum Carnage, right? So this is a 9.0. I've already sold this, and I bought 4 books in this lot. It pays for pretty much all 4 books, okay? But what's even better is what I'm going to show you next. This is a 9.0. What about 2 of these books? This one I'm selling. Do I not have it over here? The other one I'm keeping for the collection. I'm going to be putting some command strips on the wall displaying this. I love the way it looks. It's signed. It's a 9.4. Sure, it's the CBCS label, which is fine. But it's a cool book, guys. And roughly, if the 9 paid for the 4 books, just about. Maybe I'm in $5, whatever. I keep this for free, basically, and then I have 2 other books to sell. So that's kind of the strategy. I know I'm a little tongue-tied in a way because I'm going back and forth on different deals right now. And then there's 10 more coming from this collection I bought. So this is another one that was real cheap in the set 4. It's a low grade. It's Amazing Spider-Man. I would consider throwing it in the Amazing Spider-Man collection, but if I get 30 bucks, I'll just take it, move it, find something else I like. Now, this one I actually probably going to keep. This is the Batman out of the 4 I just told you about. This is the 4th one, 9.0. It's kind of a cool appearance. It's actually the first appearance of Tim Drake as Robin. There was a Scarecrow. I like the cover. I think it'll look cool on the wall. I'm keeping this one, right? So we're going to keep this one, right? Let's just put this in perspective. This, the 9.4 I get to keep. All because from this purchase, I sold this, right? And it paid for basically these 3, but I'm going to sell this too. And then there's going to be a little profit there. And I keep 2 books that I think are really cool for free. And I put them up on the wall, start building, start accumulating a nice collection, a nice run that way. So that's kind of the strategy going with the comics. I've got to be very particular, look for deals, but I've got to find things people like. And as far as those other books, there's going to be about 10 more coming in. These are a couple of freebies I got in the 2, which is cool cover. Venom. And then there's the Silver War, which I don't know a whole lot about, but they look cool. And since they're out, I might even just try to give them a read just to find out what the story's about. So, 2024 will be my comic run, build, accumulation, and how I plan to do it. Just that simple. Look for deals, some stuff to sell, some stuff to keep, and then reinvest the money into some keys that I personally want to hold for 10, 20 years. I think I'm going to be targeting some Batman keys, some Amazing Spider-Man. I've got 10 more books I'm going to show you guys, and then I'll tell you more about the lot, what I paid for these guys. But most of these guys I just showed you at the beginning of the video were relatively cheap, okay? But I think there'll be plenty of people who would like it graded, the cover's cool. And then those Dell comics I showed you at the beginning, these 3. I've already told myself I'm keeping Casper, which, by the way, even though as Casper as a kid, I thought it was awesome. This is just a cool cover. And these are growing on me, I'm not going to lie. If you have all 3 displayed, hung up on the wall, just those colors are kind of vibrant. They pop. Something about them. The seller had a couple more books similar to this. And, you know, these books are sometimes they're cheap and sometimes in high grade they're ridiculous. These are kind of on the lower grade. I mean, I guess mid 5.5, but we'll see, guys. We'll see about this. Like I said, my goal is to try to sell some to get my money back for the the 19 I have coming total, and keep some of those and build and grow a comic book collection this year. Pretty much all graded books what I want to focus on. I've been thinking, like, I have so many other hobbies and things I collected over the years. If you're new to the channel, it was kind of one of those things where you start to collect things for a long time and then you kind of get bored, or you feel like you got your collection, you got some good stuff, let's try something else. And I've been thinking, like, even my silver collection, I was like, it's been relatively high lately. I could sell some of it, move that money into a market that's down 50-60%. And do I believe a lot of these comic book keys will bounce back? I do. I think there's a weird time where markets were overinflated because of COVID and all that other stuff. I think the movies kind of have been dropping because they're not as good as they first were, and they're kind of watered down. But I think those characters will always remain sought after and desirable, especially the Amazing Spider-Man, the Batman. You know, those guys will bounce back. Especially the keys, those villains that we've all come to love. And I think villains will be a good one for me to have a strategy going after. I'm not going to tell you which ones I'm looking into yet because I've got more research to do, and I really want to find some guys that I feel like if they never go up, that I love them. Either one, the cover, or two, the character. And have some fun in 2024 with this. This is a couple of my comic book updates, and that's kind of what my goal is for 2024, to build and grow the collection and kind of treat it as a hobby and a little bit of a business while I'm doing everything else in life. So if you're new here, if you're into that kind of stuff with collectibles, action figures, coins, now comic books a little bit more, Funko Pops, all that stuff, you dabble into different hobbies, you learn about it, well, you might want to consider checking out my channel, looking at some old videos. And hey, if you see anything you like, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next one, because there's going to be more coming. All right, guys, be safe out there. Talk soon.